We used to recommend taking a probiotic along with the antibiotic. And in 2019, there was a really comprehensive study that compared a couple different groups. So all of these three groups were administered an antibiotic. And with one group, they had taken a fecal sample from them prior to giving them antibiotics. The second group, they were given probiotics along with antibiotics. The third group was given nothing. And so they actually found that the group that recovered their original microbiome the slowest was the group who took probiotics along with the antibiotics. So the one that got fecal microbiome transplant, analogous fecal microbiome transplant, they recovered it the quickest. You're basically putting their microbiome back in them. You're giving them fecal transplant. But the ones who were taking probiotics, we can kind of assume that it had almost a competitive effect because with most probiotics, you're getting in a handful, maybe two handfuls of different strains, but there's a lot of them. So maybe you're taking 30 billion colony forming units of three different strains. We have thousands of strains in the gut in different amounts. And so when you're just bombing the gut with one specific strain, not knowing if that's the strain that you need, that can inhibit some of your natural strains from repopulating. So what we do now recommend instead, unless somebody has a really serious condition like inflammatory bowel disease or they've had recurrent C. diff, we just say don't take probiotics when you're taking the antibiotics. Let them do their thing if you absolutely need them. And always ask your provider, do I absolutely need this? What can I take instead if I don't absolutely need this antibiotic? But if you do, eat fiber. So eat prebiotics because that's going to feed you the bugs that did survive in your gut, and eat probiotic foods. So that's a gentle reinoculation. You're adding small amounts back in. You're hoping to feed these bugs, and then you're introducing more bugs while you take the antibiotic. After you finish, you can determine from there, are the foods doing it for me? Am I feeling good with just eating probiotic foods? If so, continue on. If not, you might consider a
I have
probiotic.
to give a quick visual to that. Imagine an empty field in Southern California, in Costa Rica, in Beijing, in Alaska. What's going to grow there is very different if we just left that field. We've all seen a field be empty for a couple months and then it starts growing native species. That's essentially what we're saying is you have to regrow your native gut species. That's different from your uncle, your aunt, your neighbor down the street. And so the way
If it
we
was
do that,
good.
if it was good, but ideally, if you're doing that with the plants, the prebiotics, the probiotics, it's going to bring back your native species in higher amounts, ideally over time. You can also help that. So those things are going to help transplant. Oh, my neighbor's farm and garden looks native and good. Let me transplant some of that to speed this along. Rather than what you're doing with just a general probiotic is going to each field in every ecosystem, I'm going to plant the same seeds. And now you're competing with different plants that aren't even supposed to be there. Hopefully that makes sense.